What I find so funny and ironic about the world is that everything that is supposedly really valuable about a person is an intangible thing. Think about it. Charisma, not real. Confidence, not real. Self-esteem, not real. And when I say not real, we cannot physically touch it, but clearly we can sense it. Clearly we can feel it. Having big aura, big energetic, big aura. And how do you do that? By being confident. And if you guys are like, how do I be confident? What you're gonna do is get in tune with your body. I'm gonna go on my spiritual brand page right now just to remind any woman who is watching, specifically a woman, but men also have this power. Tap into divine femininity is to be okay with feeling pleasure. And that's something that I feel we have been very disconnected from as women, is our pleasure. Because I think this is why there is a war on women's bodies and a war on our looks and a war on our body and our pleasure, is because once we fully know our power and our potential and we can step into that and we can embody that, I think a lot of people are going to be really afraid. Because you have to understand that when you teach a man, you teach one person, but when you teach a woman, you teach a family, because inevitably that's what the role of a woman is. And it's so funny how we've been taught and bred and cultivated in this way, where unfortunately, I know it sounds like crops, but we are the crops that birth everything else. Because when you think about it, all of our food comes from shit. I'm just saying, I don't know why that's valid, but I just wanted to say that. Anywho, we've been cultivated in a way where we felt powerless and we didn't understand our power. We didn't understand the value of our bodies, the value of our womb space, that power to attract. And do you ever get mesmerized by your own beauty? You're like, what the fuck? We've been cultivated to feel disconnected from our bodies, because when we don't get to feel our pleasure, we can't really feel our intuitive nature, our body, because our body will tell us way before anything else, before we get any other signals out there. We know for sure that when our body is not in alignment with something, we can feel it. And if we hate our body, if we hate the way our body looks, if we always feel like we're scrutinizing our body, and we overall feel bad about doing things that make us feel good, how are we supposed to tap into our divine feminine? And that's what I mean, where you have to be okay with seeking your pleasure. We have been so taught to be afraid in our bodies. Think about the propaganda that is going on. I'm just gonna crash out right now because I don't give a fuck. Everything just clicked just now, and so now, if our bodies are rooted in pleasure, and because we have been so disconnected from our bodies, because we are literally in a state of survival. I don't know if you guys have been reading up about this, but I definitely have, and it's about nervous system regulation. And at first I was like, that sounds kind of wacky doodle, what the fuck is that? But then I realized that that was the key to feeling into my body. Because when I take a deep breath, actually do it with me right now, let's do it, and I feel my body, I can feel the tension, the tightness, the weight of my body. And if you never pay attention to that, if you're never even aware of that, how can you even remotely be aware of your feminine energy, of that pleasurable energy? Because you're literally holding on to all this fear, stuck in not feeling your pleasure, that you don't feel pleasure. You know what I'm saying? And that's your divine feminine. And the thing about what I was saying in the beginning about how saying not feeling guilty about feeling your pleasure is that you have to ask for it. You have to be so driven about it. And I know that's so weird, because it's like, well, how are you supposed to do a masculine thing, ask and be bold about this, if your feminine doesn't feel safe enough to create and attract, do things and be expressive? But in you taking bold action and being courageous and being this container for yourself to feel safe in your body, right? When you radically want pleasure and you're radically going after pleasure, you have to ask for it. You have to say, I know what I want. I know what I want to feel in this moment. I know what direction I'm going in, and I'm gonna therefore keep on pursuing that, keep on going forward towards that, and also ask for it. Be bold enough, feel deserving in it, and also feel calm and relaxed in it. Because honestly, just think about it for a second. This is an exercise I still have to do for myself, is that when you go to ask for something, even let's say you want to just ask for $50, say, hey, can I have $50? Do you feel like contraction? Do you feel yourself being small? Do you feel like you owe someone something for asking? Yeah, that's not being in your pleasure. Because when you're truly having a pleasurable moment, when you're truly in the moment, when you're truly having the best time, you don't think, oh my God, is it okay that I'm having a good time? No, you're just doing it. And that's like your divine feminine energy is just doing and being and feeling and being expressive and not worrying about, oh, am I beautiful enough? Oh, am I expressive enough? Oh, am I creative enough? It doesn't matter because it feels good to you. And if it feels good to you, it probably feels good to everyone else, because that's the power of being a person, but especially being a woman. It's like that divinity that you feel with the earth. Because I don't know how far you are into your spiritual journey, but when you keep on going about it, you really do feel the earth. You feel Mother Nature. You feel like you need the sun. This is why it's so important to spend a little bit of time in the sun. Why do you think we like golden hour? Why do we think we like tan skin? It's all because you're absorbing the nature. You're one with nature. You know that as nature evolves and as things evolve, you're supposed to be evolving with it. And this is being in your divine feminine. It's just feeling all aspects of life. Because if you think about Mother Nature, right, Mother Gaia, the planet, she isn't super consistent, very systematic and no, sometimes she has crazy tornado storms. I don't know, she's crazy tornado storms. Sometimes she's sunny, sometimes she's gloomy but no rain. And these are cycles that we go as a woman, but instead of fighting them and thinking that we're wrong and we're not doing things that are good enough, it's about feeling what feels best for us. And if in that moment that's laying down, the birds, they're having fun. They with me on this. If the best thing for your body in the moment is to lay down, that's what you're gonna do, and you're not gonna feel bad about it. You're not gonna feel like you're not doing enough because of it. Because that's truly, I think, the goal of everything. When I think about what I really want and what I want to manifest, it's just like that feeling of being okay, of feeling like, yep, I did it. I feel good about this. Or countries are talking. They are talking today. They're big or blah, blah. But anyways, it's just feeling okay. Like, honestly, what I want more than anything is just not feel guilty because I want things. You know what I'm saying? I want this, and I don't have to explain myself. I just want it. And then let it go. That's it. Is this valuable at all? I don't know. What men really want from a woman. I don't give a fuck, low-key. Honestly, I don't give a fuck about it. That's what it was. Like, honestly, if I'm gonna be real, I love men and I respect, keyword, good men. I respect good men. I think men are very valuable, but at the same time, I'm kind of, because the reason why I'm saying this, and specifically this, is because I do everything for the validation of men. I think I'm a pick-me, and I want to pick me. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to be a pick-me. I pick me. I'm saying I choose me. Love me. I am choosing me. I think that's the problem, is there's a side of me that really values men. I feel like men are needed, and I don't want to write off a whole segment of the population, and I don't think all men are trash. But at the same time, I think the biggest battle that we're having as a society and just as people in general is that women are starting to understand that our intrinsic value and the things that we care about, maybe it's actually not men, and men and their validation and being maybe the sex entity. We're like, wait, there's so much more to us, and we can do a lot, and we're super smart, and maybe we should take control. And it's hard because men have been in control for so long, and it's kind of okay, but now it's time for women to come into control, and no one's really ever seen it. And I feel like women as well, we've been also fed this propaganda. We can't lead, we don't know how to lead. Or I also feel like women feel uncomfortable about letting a woman lead. Oh, our gender role is gonna change. And I feel that a true leader or a true woman leader is not so much about, you need to have a masculine element to you, which is why I feel like this is like where the misandry is coming in. And what do we need a man for if we're just gonna provide for ourselves? We're gonna protect and provide for ourselves with the purpose of a man. And I think it's about co-creation, because in the balance of learning your masculine and feminine energy within yourself and everything, I also feel like you then get to know men better, because it's like you have to tap into that side of you. And so you might have more empathy and more understanding of men and better play at the dance and at the game of dating man and woman, because you have the same entity within yourself. I might have to reword that because I don't know if that really made sense. It's like this. In the way of manifestation, right, there is this element of duality, of taking action but also surrendering at the same time, right? And hot and cold, there's always these opposites, masculine and feminine, right? And so that is the dance of co-creation. And I think if you can dance with yourself, quote unquote, so the divine in yourself as the divine woman that you are, you then understand actual relationships better because you can understand the flow of energy because of what you manifested already within yourself. And then that way you don't really have victim mentality because you have the capabilities of manifesting if things were to go south. But as a woman leader, like I said, what I think makes a good woman leader is that when you understand this dance of I can take care of myself, but also because I can take care of myself, I really value myself. I think of myself as an investment, as a temple where the divine can reside, where manifestation can happen literally within our bodies, right? When we go about on this path, and then you are, again, the leader still as a woman, inspire people to also lead and to also do things. Like what are the marks of any great leader? Is they can inspire other people to lead. And I think that's why women should be leaders, and this is why consciousness of the world is growing. Women should lead, but in a submissive way, if that makes sense. I know it's contradictory, it's so weird, but I just feel it's manifestation if you think about it. Women know how to lead because of manifestation. Just think about it, right? Because first you have to get clear on what you want, who you want to be, where you want to go, right? This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to identify as, period. I'm now a successful speaker and my words make impact and my words cast spells on people. This is what we're identifying as. Then the second thing is that you have to surrender it to the divine. We cannot keep on check if the divine is gonna make my words spells. We've already claimed it. I've cast it on you guys. You're cooked. But good thing my curses are blessings. Maybe, who knows? Let go. And lastly is take action as the identity that you've identified. These words make impact. So the next thing, right, when it comes to women in leadership, and this is relating to manifestation, is that we clearly as women want this certain expectation of men. And if I were to say one expectation I want out of a man, just one, no, there's definitely more, but the expectation that I definitely have of men is that they need to provide and they need to protect. These are the two requirements that we need to succeed as a tribe, as a people, as a community. Because I find that men really enjoy getting put to work. I rarely find men specifically when I ask them, hey, I need help. Hey, can you help me with this? Do they say no? Now, granted, it might be attractiveness. Not gonna put that past myself. But at the same time, I really think it's because they like being useful. I think there's this thing about saying in World War II or something, World War I, these like vets had nothing to do, were driving these like ambulances, driving delivery trucks because no one else could, but they had that purpose and they felt like they were helping their country. Okay, back women being leaders, being in that divine feminine energy, that nurturing, compassionate, intuitive. Okay, because what happens is that when you stand in this intuitive knowledge of yourself, of like where you want your body to go, or like you like knows and like when you have this vision and you know where you're taking your tribe, you know where you're taking your family, you always take action and you identify with that, but you don't fight with it. You don't fight with your husband. You inspire him to be a part of that journey. You guide him in that journey through your actions, through being in your body. And this is why it's so important to regulate your body and to regulate yourself, because if you're in your pleasure, guess what your partner gets to feel? Pleasure. Guess what the universe gets to feel when you're in your pleasure? Pleasure. Do you get it? And it's crazy how we've been ingrained to feel guilty about it, to feel disconnected about feeling good about things, feeling good about achieving things, feeling good about having vision, feeling good about being with nature and being wacky in whatever way that you want to be wacky. They love that because it's life, it's being, it's expressing. And the more you can be in that energy, the more you inspire other people to be in that energy. And the less you want to fight and pillage and grape things because you're too busy expressing and being and living your life. And this is, I feel like, the goal of most women is, I'm starting to sweat, that's why I'm kind of like, should go inside. But man, do I look beautiful.